aloha, and hello out there, everybody. What's going on? This is Miho with the Too Close to Call podcast series, joined, as always, by my co-host, Pags, and this is the Stream It podcast series.
Stream it.
We are talking anything you can watch on TV, the internet, and we are talking movies today as well. A little bit of a curveball for you listeners out there.
Yeah, because you can stream movies as well.
Eventually on Netflix, right? Maybe not right away, but you certainly can.
They come on demand, and if you're willing to pay a couple extra buckaroos, you can do it too. I know you like to red box it, but I always just don't leave the confines of my home and spend that $4 for early viewing of a movie.
There you go. First glance, for sure. But, oh, dude, the one that I watched this past week that was unexpectedly excellent was the TV series on Netflix, the new competitive series called Blown Away, which was the competitive glass blowing series. Did you stumble across this at all?
I did not, and I'm trying to picture in my head what the hell glass blowing is.
Dude, it's people creating glass sculptures, whether it be lights, bongs, anything different. Dude, they had a different segment in each 10 episodes, and there were 10 people in a competition, and these episodes were like 23 minutes, so the whole thing takes like 3 to 4 hours, and it's just unbelievable to watch glass be made, dude. They have to put this liquid into an oven that's over 2,000 degrees, and then basically bring the glass out. You blow into a tube so the bubble comes at the end, and then you maneuver this glass, you massage it, you turn it into all different shapes and sizes and textures and glass within a glass. And dude, you got to look at some of the pictures from this competition online, because again, there's no reason why this should have been an excellent show, dude. And I think I watched it in like a day, maybe. It was just, you couldn't look away because it was 20 minutes, just banged it out, bing, bang, boom, here's the things, there's no sappy backstories, they get into it a little bit, but it's not on the level of like Voice or American Idol, where you're just like, oh my God, is everybody just a sap story? What's going on here? But the people that do the glass throwing, there's some interesting characters there, to say the least.
I bet, and I think you have to be an interesting character to do glass. I apologize to anybody who is normal and does glass.
There were a few dudes on there where you're like, this guy seems normal, but honestly, man, they put it in a cooling, like refrigerator type thing. Oh, but the cooling thing is set at 500 degrees.
Holy moly.
It's insane, dude. Seriously, you got to watch it 20 minutes. You just see this liquid goo come out, and then 10 minutes later, it's a beautiful glass sculpture, light fixture hanging from the ceiling, and you're like, how the hell did that goo substance turn into something that beautiful with people just maneuvering and blowing air and doing all these types of things, man? It's insane.
That sounds pretty cool. I got to check that out.
For sure, dude. It's one of those things where I clicked it on going, oh, what the hell's this? And then an hour later, you're going, oh, well, I want to see who else it is. I want to see who else advances. I want to see who else advances.
Oh, man, that's cool. You're really into the obscure things on Netflix. I like it.
That's it, man.
Yeah, going into the depths of the documentaries, the real shit. I like it. I went to the movies for the first time since the Avengers. And I went and saw Lion King.
Oh, you were one of the people to see it this weekend. How was it? Was it everything we had hoped, or was it a letdown?
Spoiler alert, Mufasa dies.
No, dude, come on. I haven't seen this version yet.
Yet, me and the wife took Son, which, by the way, is crazy. And having a 2-year-old at a movie theater, it's a good thing we went at 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Let's just say that.
I was thinking whether or not you were taking the kid, and I'm going, how the hell is this working for 2 hours? And he's not screaming at the screen or pointing at everything and talking the whole time. I'm like, if I have to sit next to one of these kids in this movie, that's why I'm going to wait till Redbox.
Well, that's why we went at 9:30, and it was all parents and kids. So apparently all these parents had the exact same idea.
Before nap time hits in the afternoon.
Right. right. If there wasn't the half-hour previews before, he would have made it all the way through. But he was so enamored by the previews, and then he made it till almost when Simba got back to Pride Rock. That's when he started losing it a little bit. But no, dude, it was great. Did you see the real-life Jungle Book?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so that's the same guy, Jon Favreau. He's in Couples Retreat. He's in Replacements. He's in Iron Man. He did this movie.
He's the chef guy, isn't he?
Chef, yeah, he's in that as well.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
He directed it. I thought it was the best Disney remake to date. Everybody they played had a different personality than what you would have in the cartoon one, and they kept it similar but a little bit different here and there. The first beginning of the Circle of Life was a picture-by-picture exact of the animation, so it was cool seeing it in the CGI form. And the guy that plays Timon, he's in Parks and Recreation, the guy that yells really loud.
Billy on the Street or whatever.
Yes, him. So he plays Timon, and Seth Rogen as Pumbaa. They are perfect as it. They were hilarious. It was just a great movie. Good soundtrack, little different spin of each song, but they had everything in it, and I highly recommend people to go see it because it was a very good movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out at some point eventually here. When you said it was the best adaptation to date, live action for Disney, I did a quick Google search, and one website here has it at number 5. Just ahead of Aladdin.
I didn't see Aladdin, so...
Number 4, we have Maleficent with Angelina Jolie.
That's the new one coming out.
That's the first one in 2014.
They have another one coming out.
So they have another one coming out. They actually have The Jungle Book ahead of it at number 3. And then all the way back to number 2 is 101 Dalmatians in the 1990s. No. And then number 1, Cinderella, 2015.
Cinderella wasn't bad. Lion King was better than all those. Maybe I'm just biased because I like that cartoon the best. But no, I'd definitely go check it out. It's similar to Jungle Book because I like Jungle Book as well. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's like you're watching cartoons, but they look more realistic now.
Sure. It's just funny because we're in a weird time right now when it comes to The Lion King, because I saw a screenshot of some text messages on Tinder being floated around on the Twittersphere, and it was a conversation where a guy was talking to a girl about The Lion King, and she came back with, "No spoilers, I haven't seen that yet."
Oh, God. Well, here's an even bigger spoiler. Do you know what Shakespearean play it is based off of?
What is it, Macbeth? Macbeth?
Macbeth? No, it's not Macbeth. It's Hamlet.
It's under Hamlet.
If you've seen Hamlet, it's the same freaking concept there, too.
There you go. Interesting. I'll have to pay attention to that because I'm not sure I put 2 and 2 together.
The son leaves, and then the son comes back and fights his uncle. There you go.
There it is. Bada bing, bada boom.
So what else did you catch? Did you go to the theater or anything?
Let's see. I haven't seen any movies, and although I did catch a ton of trailers, but we'll close with a couple of those, some tidbits after we get to your Bachelorette talk next year. But yeah. I wanted to throw in another tidbit on the Cooking Channel, a follow-up show that I enjoy as well. It's called Carnival Eats. There's a gentleman, the host, Noah Cap, who basically goes around to every state or local fair and tries out the most ridiculous cuisine that they offer. And, you know, I haven't tried some of the things on the show. As crazy as I get is probably deep-fried Oreos. Have you ever tried one of those?
Those are the best.
Yeah, so this guy goes around and he's got deep-fried watermelon, deep-fried ice cream, deep-fried this. Literally, they don't sell anything that's not deep-fried. But as I'm watching, I'm thinking to myself, I don't go to that many fairs anymore, man. I know the Schnecksville Fair used to be every summer, and we actually stumbled across the Eagleville Fair a few weeks ago, but I enjoy my times at those, man. End up coming home with usually a huge stuffed animal. Call myself a winner.
Yeah, I mean, those are fun, and now that we have kids, it's fun to go back and see them experience it for the first time. But I have and probably never will experience fried fruit. Like, I'm out on that. I've had fried ice cream. Fried ice cream's awesome. Fried chicken, fried gator, fried all that stuff. I've had it. It's great. Stay away from the fried fruit, I think.
We'll have to try something at the Texas State Fair eventually when we get down to the Oklahoma-Texas football game there at the Cotton Bowl.
Hell yeah. That sounds freaking sick.
That sounds sick, man. But here we are, coming to the end of July. Are we done with The Bachelorette yet? I know we missed last week, so I'm trying to figure out. Did we see the finale, or are we still on the cliff here?
Let me get the weeks we missed The Bachelorette. It's almost as if ABC knows we missed the podcast because they always put these 2-part series every time we miss it.
Oh,
so literally 2 weeks ago was the four guy date, the fantasy suites.
Yep.
The windmill is shown. We find out who she finally slept with in the windmill. Spoiler alert: it was Petey the pilot. He banged her twice.
Let's go, Petey. First one's
So
for me,
Petey,
second one's for you.
Petey bangs her in the windmill. Then she goes on a date with Tyler. Tyler, as they're getting into the fantasy suite, she says, it would be easy to have sex with you because of how attractive I am to you. I would like us to go into the fantasy suite and not have sex. So Tyler gets the raw deal of it, but it turns out being like, he respects me, he's a great guy. So I think Tyler has submitted himself as the favorite to be the lover of Hannah B.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard you mention his name and favorite in the same sentence.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the winner. She then went on a date with Jed. It was a beautiful date. And they did the dirty, and it was beautiful, I'm assuming, because Jed's awesome. And then Luke P happened, and they have a great date, and she's basically saying, like, I think this guy's my husband, blah, blah, blah. Well, then Luke P opens his mouth and goes, let's talk about sex, Hannah. Let's just say you would have sex with another guy on this show. Then I would remove myself from this situation.
No.
Basically saying, if you fuck anybody other than me, I'm out. And Hannah loses her shit. And this dude could not get his foot further out of his mouth. This dude just kept stepping. He's like, wait. I didn't say I would completely remove myself. I would consider it. He's just basically like the biggest idiot on earth, and Twitter went off. Hannah flicks him off. She sends him home. That's the end of 2 weeks ago's episode.
Crazy, dude. That's insane. And obviously, as a viewer, you know what's already happening. So to hear him say that, it's like, oh, shit. Which way is she going to go here?
Oh, dude, and he, like, refused to get out of his chair. And she's like, you need to leave. And he was basically like a 2-year-old kid, like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm sitting in my chair.
Jeez.
So let's fast forward to yesterday, Monday night's episode. So this is what annoys me about The Bachelorette. They gave us 20 minutes of stuff, and then they went to the Men Tell All. So basically, we got 20 minutes of stuff, and all it was the 3 dudes standing there with the roses, and then Luke P shows up. All these guys don't know that she sent him home, so they just think it's standard quo. Like, there's Luke P. He's standing there. So he's standing there. She walks into the room, and she's like, get out. What are you doing here? And all the guys are just staring at each other. And he's like, I need to have closure. I need to have closure with you. So all these dudes just surround him, and he's like refusing to leave. And then Chris Harrison comes in, and he's like, what do you want, Hannah? And she's like, I want him to leave. And then finally Luke leaves. And then they don't even tell us who she gives the final rose, the final 2 roses to. So we have to be in suspense until next week. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll save all of our listeners the time. All you have to know about the Men Tell All is Luke P went on there. Chris Harrison asked him, would you change anything you did? He said, no, I wouldn't change a single thing I did. Then all the dudes came out, and he asked for them to accept his apology. And they're all like, well, you just said you wouldn't change a thing you did, so you obviously didn't learn anything. We don't accept your apology. And then Hannah came out and screamed at him, and that was basically it.
So we had the Men Tell All before we find out who actually wins the darn thing?
They do that every year, but usually it's like the final 2, and then they have the Men Tell All, and then have the final episode of the final 2. But I guess what they're doing is next week they're having Monday, 2-hour episode, Tuesday, a 2-hour episode, and then that's the wrap on this season of The Bachelorette.
So next week, we will finally get a conclusion.
And then it's the best time of the year, my man. Bachelor in Paradise season. and it is going to be awesome.
Nice little change of pace coming up for football season to sprinkle in some Bachelor in Paradise during the week.
Almost paradise. That's the beginning song of that.
Oh, of course. Everybody knows that. Everybody.
So
knows.
we got more Bachelor talk coming, my man.
I dig
even
it.
though football season's on the horizon.
Of course, keeping me well-rounded. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I do it for you guys. I don't watch it because I like it. I do it for you guys.
I do it for you guys. Oh, well, thank you for your service, Pags.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness gracious. But a few quick hitters here on the way out. Some trailers dropped at Comic-Con out in San Diego this past week. HBO, their next chapter here in some of their TV shows were released. And the 3 trailers that everybody's talking about, first one is His Dark Materials, which is another best-selling novel by Philip Pullman, put in an alternate world, and it's another kind of sci-fi, epic, Game of Thrones style show, as well as they're reviving Watchmen for a new series, and then we have season 3 of Westworld coming out in 2020. So HBO trying to figure out what's next here after the Game of Thrones has come to an end.
Well, that's the thing. They need to find a hit show, and I think Westworld has the potential to being that show. I've seen the first 2 seasons. Season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was okay, but season 3, they're bringing Jesse Pinkman in from Breaking Bad, so I think that's going to be a hit. And Watchmen, I freaking love that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but
I did see that movie.
Great. I know it's not going to be along the same plot as the movie, but I'm really looking forward to that show.
For sure, dude. And Netflix also trying to find their Game of Thrones. They released the teaser trailer for the show The Witcher, which comes from the popular books by Andrzej Sapkowski, as well as apparently it's a very popular video game series with magic, monsters, elves, gnomes, all of the above, man. So everybody trying to ride this wave here to see that next sci-fi banger of a series.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix has Stranger Things. I think basically what these streaming platforms are doing is they're trying to have a hit at all times of the year. And some of them have worked out, some of them haven't. They hit it with a document series. But for sure, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff to check out in the coming months.
Oh, my goodness, man. And a few movie trailers that popped out here recently. First, we had the new Mr. Rogers trailer, Won't You Be My Neighbor? Mr. Rogers being played by Tom Hanks. I mean, I don't know if you could cast a better Mr. Rogers.
Seriously, he looks like him in the trailer.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on, man. Another one here, we had the official Top Gun Maverick movie trailer. Almost 35 years after Top Gun dropped, we're having a sequel with pretty much the same cast, man. I don't know, but these fight scenes up in the air, dude, with the Air Force, they look absolutely insane. And obviously in 30 some odd years, the ability to put cameras in certain places and get certain shots are going to be exponentially better, dude. And I'm looking forward to some of those action sequences that are only, I can assume, going to be insane.
And I hope Val Kilmer gets back in shape for this, because I saw some pictures of him lately, and he is a little gooey. So
not looking great.
Man gets his carving stick out.
Not looking great, man. But the last one here, and maybe the most disturbing of all the things I've seen this past week, was the new trailer for the movie Cats coming out, dude. Did you see this? I know it just came out the other day or so I know if you've been busy, you may not have checked it out. Disturbing is an understatement.
It looked like a horror movie.
Hey, we got cats with human boobs, but all cat figures, and there's Taylor Swift, Jason Derulo, Idris Elba, Ian McKellen, I think is how you say his name. I mean, the roster is loaded, dude. The cast is insane. Taylor Swift's in there. But as I'm watching this, I'm like, I am so uncomfortable right now. I don't know if I want to do this for an hour and a half.
No, I'm going to be out on that. I'm not going to watch it.
I never saw the play to begin with either, so I don't really know what's going on with the plot or anything, but it was a little overwhelming for me mentally.
Well, I know that the cats come out in the alleys and the aisles, and they sit on your laps and shit like that, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out on that. The cats freak me out.
That's for damn sure, man. But another loaded episode here on the Stream It podcast. Gave you guys a few TV shows to check out, or movie or two to look into. And again, dude, a lot of quality content being out there that you guys can stream at your convenience.
No doubt. And if we're missing anything or you want us to check out a show to talk about, hit us on the hotline or hit us up on our social media platforms. Wherever you need to get a hold of us, we will do the work for you to let you know how these shows are. We will talk to you guys soon. Later.
Peace.